Hi everybody. Today I'm going to talk about typing your essay in the required MLA style. So I've Googled MLA for you so that you can see what it is. This isn't Ms. Fatima's style. This is the style that's used across colleges and universities in the field of liberal arts. Liberal arts means like any writing class, composition, literature class, and so forth. And MLA style is set by the Modern Language Association. That's what MLA stands for. It's a standardization organization that makes the format that we all use to put our essays in, that designates what that format will be. And they actually change the format every few years just a little bit. So maybe something you learn with me right now will be different in a few years. The last time the style was changed was in 2016. So the version of MLA that we use right now is called MLA 8. And everything I'm telling you today is accurate for MLA 8. Today's March 27th, 2020. Okay, so if you study psychology, you might use the APA style. If you study journalism, you might use the Chicago style. And there are actually many, many styles for all fields. The style we're learning today is relevant for our field. I wanted to show you a little trick here. If you go into your ACC mailbox, up on the top right-hand corner, you have a little box with dots. That is where your Google apps are found. And if you go into your Google apps and you find Docs and you open that, you end up here where you'll have all of any documents you've saved in here. So it's like a good place to save stuff for yourself. And you also have what are called templates or models of how to write something. So here, if you notice that one of the models is called Report MLA, and that's the one we want to look at. And I've actually got one of those open already. So let's look here. The first thing you'll notice here is that everything is nonsense words. It's lorem ipsum, nonsense Latin words. So this isn't a real paper, it's a pretend paper just to model the style for you. So if you forget anything that I'm telling you today, I hope you're taking notes and I hope you will remember. But if you should forget, come in here and find the lorem ipsum paper in the MLA style so you know the rules. So a couple things to notice. The MLA documents are always written in Times New Roman font. So if you look in the fonts here, you've got so many different fonts. Forget about all the rest of them and remember the best. It's Times New Roman. Okay, it's not really the best, it's just the required font for the MLA style. And font means the way the letters look, the style of the letters. Secondly, the MLA required font size is 12. So starting now into forever, all of your documents should be typed in Times New Roman, and they should all be size 12 font. Okay, so the other thing that we're going to need is a new blank document. So if we go back into here where we found that template, we'll click on the plus document, and it's saved for us automatically whether we save it or not. But let's call it, let's give it a name. You know what that cough means, right? Okay, so who remembers? What's the first thing we're going to do when we're going to get in here? We're going to change the font. What font are we supposed to use? That's right. Times New Roman. There, I changed it. Second of all, size 12. Now, looking back at the document, what else do you notice? Notice that everything is double-spaced, including the part where you put your name. The way that this is the exact same way that you need to make it in your paper. So we'll put your own name. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? That's right, I forgot to format double space. So let me just back up and tell you how I'm going to make it double space. Double space means you can see those gaps in between the lines. So we go to Format, go to Line Spacing. In our Google Docs, the line setting is already set to a spacing of 1.15, and you go down to double. Now it's going to be double spaced. So we go down again, and then we put our professor's name. Your professor's name is me, Professor Khan. Then you put the name of the course, which in our case is Writing 4. And notice the date. The date actually goes, oops, the date, that's capital, March, the month. The date goes in the European style with the day first, month second, and then the year, unlike how we usually do it in American English. So that's something interesting about using MLA style, is the date is different. Now, usually what you'd be adding next would be your title. So this part that's blinking is called the cursor. The cursor is on the left-hand side right now. It's set to left align, which is how we type in English. And if we write in Arabic or Farsi or Hebrew or some other languages, you have it set to right align. Of course, in English, we use left align. But what about the title? How do we get the title in the middle? Well, in between right and left align, there's center align for titles. Let's talk a moment about making titles. So, imagine I'm writing an essay about the differences between New York City and Los Angeles. So, we can go ahead and write Los Angeles here, just to be balanced. So, differences between New York and LA. Let's talk for a moment about the rules when we make a title. When we make a title, the first word, the first letter of the first word in the title is capitalized, no matter what it is. And all words are capitalized, no matter what they are, except for, listen carefully, conjunctions like and, articles like the, a, and an, small prepositions. What's a preposition? You know, like to, on, by, with. Basically, prepositions of 4 letters or less are not capitalized. So those are what we don't capitalize. However, if we start the title with one of those small prepositions, or with a the or an a or an and, we will capitalize it. So that's the rules of capitalization with titles. Does your essay need to have a title? Yes, should. Looks better. Okay, anyway, there's our title. And it actually went directly back into the left align, but make sure you go back into left align before you start. Now, before you start typing your paragraph, you need to do something that you do every time you start a new paragraph, which is indent. To indent, you press the tab. Notice when I press the tab, before the cursor was over here to the far left, aligned with where you put your name. Press tab and it goes in. And that's how you show a new paragraph is beginning. So every new paragraph, you press indent. And actually, if you're writing in some programs, when you start a new paragraph, it automatically indents. So if you're using a newer version of Microsoft Word, okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, here's my paragraph. I hit return, and I want to start a new paragraph. So what do I need to do? I'm going to press the tab, which is on the left-hand corner of the screen, and look, it indented. Okay, so you're going to remember that you're going to indent, and you don't need to add an extra line, okay? Okay, look at this final line here. Can everyone see that? Why is there a red line underneath that word? You know why. It's because it's misspelled. What should it be? Well, if you hover over the word, in some word programs you would have to right-click, you get a selection of options, and here it's giving us the right option. Be careful though, don't just choose the first suggestion because sometimes you can have some funny mistakes. You have to not let the spell check be your brain. You have to think about what word you really want. I'll tell you a funny one. Well, actually look at this sentence again. My mother cooks tasty. What else is wrong here? Soap? No, no, no. Okay, what's wrong here? What should this word be? Okay, obviously it should be soup, not soap. But wait, why didn't it catch this word if it's wrong? Well, it's because soap is a real word. So once again, the spell check doesn't think for you. You have to check your own paper and not make mistakes by not looking carefully. Another funny one is like experts claim that 40% of smokers, blah, blah. Okay, so this word claim means say or state. So I had a student write multiple times in their paper clam, and clam is a real word. I have this app installed on my Chrome browser, which is called Grammarly, and Grammarly catches things like this for me. What's a clam, by the way? I love to eat clams. How about you? That's a clam. That's a clam. So you don't want your paper to say experts clam, right? You want it to say claim. I recommend all of you install Grammarly on your browser. It's a free program and it checks things like that for you, but it's still not a brain. It also has a tendency to catch foreign words and think that they're mistakes, like my name, possibly like your name. So you can't believe everything that it says. However, it's a great tool to help you. It's a free Chrome extension that you can add on, and it'll help you edit your paper. Just use the free version. You can pay extra money and get a more sophisticated version of it, but I never did that. I never thought it was necessary. Okay, so back here, you know that we're using Times New Roman, size 12. We write our name like this on the left-hand side, and we include these details. And then we have a centered title. And then we have a left-aligned paragraph here. When we start a new paragraph, we indent every time we start a new paragraph. So if that means, so if we have a 5-paragraph essay, how many times should you indent inside of your essay? 5 times. 5 times. That's right. Okay, and once you have typed this way, you can actually share this essay with me. So you would find my address by typing it in here. There's a lot of Fatimas. It's a common name. So you would select me and then hit send. Make sure that I can edit it so that I can leave comments for you. And we'll see each other soon.